everyone. Welcome home. Good to see you again. I'm Jerrel, and today I'm sharing with you my custom build. This is a conversion of a sopranissimo. This was formerly a sopranissimo ukulele that I converted into a piccolo mandolin. Technically, the correct term would be a piccolo mandolinetto because of the shape of the body, which is a guitar-shaped body. So I added extra tuners onto this build, and I had to use the smallest tuners I could find. They are 1-to-1 friction peg tuners because they took up the least amount of space, which allowed me to add them. So you can see I just barely was able to fit those. These are using the lightest gauge mandolin strings I could find. I believe the scale length on this is 10.5 inches. I think a sopranino would be about 11, maybe 11.25 inches, something like that, but this is 10.5. So this is ideal. Now, I've seen many discussions over the internet of people discussing why you would need a piccolo mandolin and why wouldn't you just put a capo on fret 5 of a typical mandolin. And the reason why that is because the piccolo mandolin, because of the shorter scale length, means you have less tension on the strings, which results in a very different voice, and it results in a sweeter timbre for your instrument. So on its own, you may not really find much need for a piccolo mandolin on its own, but if you are playing in an ensemble with other musicians, a piccolo mandolin is an excellent way to bring more dynamic into the sound of your group and to introduce a new voice that's actually quite interesting. So this particular one, I'm still working on it. I'm very busy with work. It's 12:30 in the morning at the moment, and I've had a very long work day, but I wanted to make a video to share with all of you. So you can see actually I was barely able to really just get this thing to work. I was added this tailpiece. Normally these sort of sopranissimo mandolins have a ball end and they attach to the bridge there, but I wanted to have the downward pressure as is typical for a mandolin family instrument. I'm using this ukulele neck strap for the instrument, but I think I need to tighten it so I can hold it just a bit higher up. So I have taken this to folk music clubs and played with the folk clubs there, and it went well. I haven't played it in any other groups, and I haven't used it in any of my compositions and recordings yet because I need to make some adjustments to the bridge and try to file it so it's back just a little bit more as the intonation goes a bit high as you're playing it. But for me personally, I really enjoy the sound of this instrument, and I'll play a quick sample to compare how different it sounds to a typical mandolin with fret 5. Oop, gotta adjust my positioning here. This is where it's a bit awkward because where I've placed those pegs, so accessing, Sorry that the intonation is throwing me off. I'm listening to that and it climbs quite high. It's really throwing me off as I tend to play by ear and you can't exactly play by muscle memory on this instrument as well. If you're accustomed to playing the violin or the mandolin scale length, you can't really do that because the scale length is so significantly different. So if you're accustomed to playing those things just on autopilot, it will throw you off. Oh wow, yeah. I should be standing up so I can get the tension from that Ideally, I should adjust that and have that sitting up. So you have an idea of the sound there. There's a sweetness to it that you don't get from a typical mandolin. So I'll go ahead and play that just on this solid mahogany. There's a brightness and a fullness you get out of a just a normal mandolin, but if you want more dynamic in your ensemble, you want to add a unique voice to it, piccolo mandolin is a great way to do that. What's also quite frustrating is this is a guitar capo. Surely you could get a mandolin capo to suit. I don't use capos on mandolin, so I don't have one here to try. Quite irritating bumping into the capo, but if you had a proper capo, you know, it would be fine. So you do have that fullness in the sound, but you don't get the dynamic in the voice, which adds something to your ensemble. I'm probably repeating myself. I don't know. Like I said, it's almost 1 o'clock now. I'm had a very long work day. I think my brain's just a little tired. Smaller bodied instruments tend to have a strident voice, which is kind of bright and punchy, but this is quite pleasant. And I would describe the voice as sweet and bright. So I hope you found that interesting. You can do these sort of modifications yourself as well. This was not very difficult to do. I cut a new saddle. This is a solid spruce top, but it had a plastic saddle when I received it, so I shaped a new one out of bone. I used one of my mandolin's bridges for spacing as a template. This is an old bridge. I was doing a repair on a mandolin, and I kept this one sitting around, which is quite fortunate. A typical mandolin tailpiece. Did I say bridge? Oh, I really am tired. It's almost 1. So a typical tailpiece is too big for that, but I was able to get these. You can find similar tailpieces, but these are a bit of an older style, but it's perfect. I wanted something small without a lot of weight to it, and I just used these 1-to-1 friction tuners, which they're not great quality. They're the cheapest ones you can get, but also they are the smallest ones I could get. So that happened to work out just fine. This wasn't branded, but if you do want, even if you just want the Sopranissimo ukulele, if you go online on Amazon or eBay, if you search for 17-inch ukulele, you generally will see them. I just did a check before I started filming this video. I'm not using film, am I? I'm videoing. Before I digitally recorded myself using my telephone, which is a funny statement. Boy, it must be getting late. I'm just rambling now. You can go online, you can search for 17-inch ukulele. You'll find them on Amazon and eBay. It's easy to get these little tuner parts. You can buy cheap, light mandolin strings, and you'll just have to get your set of files and you can carve that bridge yourself. But this is something that didn't take very long to do. I've had this for maybe about 6 or 7 months or so, and the instrument is totally fine. There doesn't appear to be any significant amount of warping. There's no damage to the top or the neck. There's only just a typical amount of bending that you would expect from an instrument that wasn't designed to support this amount of weight, but it is supporting it just fine. It looks like it's going to survive, given that I just keep my humidity levels and the temperatures just fine in the place where it's stored. So this is something that I'll be using in my recordings. I'll be playing it with more groups. I have handed this to mandolin players, and they just had a ball with it. They thought it was just fun and fantastic, and they really enjoyed the sound of it. I hope the camera was able to pick up the sound. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed listening to that, and I hope you are all doing as well as you can be. So thanks for watching that. Take care of yourselves, and come home again soon. We'll see you.